the Gulf wind kisses the pines, Houston heat and a Lone Star shine. 8 generations proud and free, got red dirt roots running deep as can be. She don't bow down, she don't break, tells it straight, no give, no fake. If you cross that line, boy, you'll learn. She'll light you up and watch you burn. She's a Texas girl, wild as a Mustang's run, hard like the sunset, strong as the sun. Truth on her tongue, fire in her eyes, no fear of the storm or the big old sky. She'll stand alone, she'll stand tall, won't follow no one down that hall. She's the spirit of this world. Yeah, that's Texas girl. From the hill country to the Rio Grande, she walks proud on her homeland. Pedal still hums that lonely tune, while the blue bonnets bloom in June. She'll call you out if you ain't right, won't back down from a true fuel fight. She don't need a crown or a pearl, she's already queen of this Texas world. She's a Texas girl, wild as a Mustang's run, hard like the sunset, strong as the sun. Truth on her tongue, fire in her eyes, no fear of the storm or the big old sky. She'll stand alone, she'll stand tall, won't follow no one down that hall. She's the spirit of this world. Yeah, that's Texas girl. She don't need no map, she knows her way, where the stars still shine and the fiddles play. She's a long road dream with a cowboy soul, can't be tamed, can't be controlled. She's a Texas girl, strong and true, born of the red, the white and blue. Speaks her mind, stands her ground, that Texas pride just can't be drowned. She'll stand alone, she'll stand tall, she don't need anyone at all. She's a diamond in this world, forever a Texas girl.
Good morning. I hope everyone is doing well this morning, and I am in beautiful Texas today, and it is so beautiful here today. So I'm letting that peace that surrounds me, because I live in a beautiful state. Hopefully that'll transpire in everything that I say to you today. I want to start out by saying that I in no way can apologize for the behavior I had to make it okay. What I did was not okay at all. How I reacted was absolutely horrible. Insane, actually. There is so much to the story that I want to share with you today. So please accept my apology and allow me to move on and try to be a better person. This platform should not make us behave like that, but it certainly did me, didn't it? And for that, I should have been totally in control. Wish I would have just not even sent or responded to that email to send it to Amber in any way. I wish I would have deleted the email and blocked her and left immediately from that relationship. That's what I should have done. But shoulda, woulda, coulda. And each day I'm still a work of art. I'm still a work of art. And by the grace of God, I'll move on. But please accept my apologies for anybody that I triggered or offended. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I'm going to address Amber. I never expected for it to ever be said that there was a possibility that I would have created that email or done anything with that email to try to manipulate you so that you didn't have a relationship with Flava. Again, you've had a relationship with Flava since back in JJJ's side of the fence over there. Y'all were communicating with Cash Apps. We had a stream where I was surprised to even find out that y'all communicated that way. It's very strange, but I never interfered with your relationship with her at all. And we had both agreed that the first time we got kicked to the curb by Flava, which was not that long ago, that okay, we would go back in and just try to listen to what she was trying to prove and have that insight so that we'd have something to talk about on Texas Talks and go over it, dissect it as well. And so we went back a second time and I told you, and this is when I said, if you ever had a friendship with her again, because she started going right at us again the second time that she kicked us to the curb, which was just even more recent. I would never do Texas Talks with you. I was through because I'm not doing this back and forth in my life and all the turmoil that exists on this platform. I wasn't interested, and I told you I wasn't interested, and you understood. You're mincing my words when you say that I said you could never be friends with Flava again. You could, ma'am, but I didn't want to be a part of it in any way with you. The friendship that we had, we said we would walk away. If we decided to walk away, we'd just walk away, but we would never do anything to hurt one another because we had respect for each other. I have tried in every way to maintain that respect by just trying to prove the allegations that you are putting out there and others that I wrote that email, that I did not write the email. You, in the meantime, have doxed me, my husband, and my family, my children. I have never brought my family to this platform, Amber, but you did. You brought your family to this platform, Amber. I did not. But you now brought my family to this platform. I didn't strike your video. That's another lie that you made up. But make 8 more community posts like you did yesterday, because that is the definition of obsession. Remind us all who you really are. I showed our text regarding that email to prove. I didn't know you were on Heidi's, and I did not, and you know that. Why would I do something so shady at all? I don't have that kind of behavior on this platform. The video of you that I shared on the Vegas community panel was one that was sent to me, and I was floored. You know why I was floored? That's not your past behavior. That's what you did a couple of days after you threw me under the bus. For what? You never changed at all. And what you've shown me is that I was a fool to be such a cheerleader for you. Because everything you've done to date this past week is exactly who you've always been on this platform. And this was never the friendship I thought I had. And that hurts me the most. It hurts me the most. Lesson learned. My eyes are wide open now. And what you need to do, I want to tell you, Amber, you better leave my family alone. My husband and my children are not something for you to put on a platform that has nothing to do with the platform that I'm on. I never would have dreamed you would have done what you did yesterday. And Susan, this is for you, Susan Georgia Peach. You have sat here and told me I don't know how many times that I am stupid for trusting Amber. You forgot to tell me that I should have never trusted you. You ran to that panel, and most of your recollection of my life was wrong, but you got attention. And I'll never tell the story I know on you, Susan. I won't. But that door's closed. So, a recollection of what happened and how it transpired. And please just give me the grace enough to listen to what I have to say, receive it, and then make up your own minds. I've had some people support that I appreciate so very much, and some people that supported and have since changed their minds. I've watched it in chat. So, I mean, that's the way things go on the platform. We know that. But at least give me the grace enough to hear my video. If you don't want to listen to it, that's fine too. But there's a different story. It started back on October the 20th. Our usual Texas Talk stream was supposed to be on my channel. And I received a text from Amber early in the morning saying her daughter was sick. She couldn't stream. And I immediately, because I know her so well, thought that was kind of strange because her kids have been sick before in the home and she still streamed. But whatever, you know, her child was sick, whatever. And we talked throughout the day, many times throughout the day. And then finally that evening, she called me and said that she lied to me. What did I tell you, Amber? Are you going to be honest about that? Because I told you I already knew that. She lied to me to help me understand that I could do a live stream without anyone on panel with me, or that I could do one by myself at all. Condescending much. But I did a live stream that day, and I thought it was a great stream. And she told me that her and Heidi were on the phone watching my stream, and that they were proud of me. So you and Heidi had been talking about me back since how long? Okay. And that's why Heidi sent me a super chat that day, because they were so proud of me. Okay. Kind of made my eyebrows kind of raise up a little bit then, because you lied to me, and you said you lied to me. Why didn't you just be honest with me and say, I want you to do the stream by yourself today? I want to see you stream by yourself today because I want to see you do it on your own to give you some confidence. I feel like you're lacking confidence, or do things that a friend would do to encourage another friend. You didn't. You lied to me. So after that's kind of when Flava announced the truce that she was going to do with Bombshell to lay down her swords. And she did a stream. And she did the stream and based it off of her decision for her mental health, which I get, was going to be that she was not going to stream Bombshell anymore, that her focus was Jenny, Jen, Jen. And the spreadsheets, which should have been everybody's focus, honestly, because that still is out there, I know. And Amber was texting me in the text, and then she said, I'm going to go up and da 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 da. And there's a lot of text messages between Amber and I over the months. I mean, I'm telling you, more than 10 a day, probably. So there's a whole lot of text messages between us that we communicated. We communicated, I thought, very thoroughly. But I guess I was wrong about that too. So she said, I know, I'm going to go up there and talk to her and tell her, where I stand. And it might have been where I stood too, but I felt the same way Amber did. Bombshell really had nothing significant to do for me with the spreadsheets. At all. So she went up on stream and she said what she said to Flava, that she had a different opinion about it, that she wasn't going to stop streaming Bombshell. She was going to still talk about her and blah, 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 blah. And y'all all know, you can go back and watch the stream of what she did. And she got off panel. And then Bombshell went live, or I think we did a stream in between that we were not going to lay down our swords with Bombshell. You can watch the timeline as it progresses, but we were not going to do that. We were still going to talk about, if we caught some of the behavior she's had in the past, which is the reason I started a channel on YouTube, was comically to defend her stealing money from Susan and Stifler. But hindsight. So we did that stream and we said that we weren't going to let up on Bombshell. If we saw her doing the scamming and stuff again, we were still going to talk about it. That's what we both agreed on. And then Bombshell went live, and of course she had her usual wonderful commentary about how much she hates old Texas girl, aka Texas hag, whatever y'all's word for me of the day is. But she went live and she also talked mostly about Amber, because she said it's fuck you, Amber, forever. She don't like Amber. Okay, got it. It's been a thing between them for a very long, long time. And then Amber went on a Rumble stream, and she fired up a Rumble stream to restream Bombshell stream. And she went on real hard and heavy. And she also put the questions out there of what's going to happen when Bombshell, who doxed that night in her stream, she doxed. And I believe it was some of Flava's people, too, included in on that. But anyway, she was doxing them, doing her stuff over there that she usually does on her channel. And Amber was presenting it as, what's going to happen when she does this to your subs? Are you going to speak up? You said you're laying down the swords with her, but this is what she felt. Are you going to say anything about it? Well, then Flava got mad about Amber's stream. She thought Amber was manipulating her mods. And she thought for sure Texas Girl would have something to say about it the next morning. I want to insert this here for a minute and say, Flava, you and I have never been friends on this platform. We don't have anything in common. We just have never been friends like that. You came back to me, I believe it was in July, and made an apology to me for everything you've ever done. Okay. And I made an apology to you as well. I'm just going to say it's been kind of hard to swallow some of the things you've done to me, Flava, versus some of the things I did to you, Flava, and vice versa. But two wrongs don't make a right, and often start a fight. I've never been your friend. Never wanted to. I've never tried to get in with you or get in with you in Tobo while Amber was talking to you in Tobo in group text. Y'all had been texting here recently in group text. I've never tried to intervene on a relationship with you at all. Okay? But then when Flava got on the stream and she said what she said about Amber, because she was pretty hot about Amber, somewhere after that, Amber left their group text. Now, this was the second time recently that Flava has kicked us to the curb. The first time didn't happen too far back from the second time. But, you know, that's the way it goes on YouTube. You don't agree with me, you got to say everything I believe or you're out. Well, I didn't have a problem with it, but Amber did. So, move forward to Saturday, the day that my meltdown happened. We talked on the phone that morning. As usual, first call, nothing unusual. Laughed a few times. You know, it wasn't really nothing significant at all. The second call, when I called her back, or I think I called her, she might have called me, but the second call, she was out of it and mad at something going on in her home, doing with the recliners and picking recliners up. And she was like somebody I had not seen, honestly. So I just said, get off the phone and handle it, you know, got off the phone. And the next thing that happened is I got the email. So now I'm going to go to share the timeline because I feel like this is the best way for me to explain everything that happened and how it transpired to you so you can keep up with the timeline. But at 12:37 is when I received the email. This email at 12:37. Texas girl, I'm emailing you because Flava has not been telling the truth. Recently, she shared pics of Amber's daughter in her Discord from her daughter's Facebook, Kaylee Ray, which I did not know, obviously, how to spell her name. So, my bad. But this is the email that I'm reading. And the pic of her daughter with a man, and he's holding up a peace sign dated 8/11/24. I will not share the pic if you could pass the info to Amber or give me her email as I cannot locate it. My initial thought was immediately, I have to let her know. Immediately. Like there was no sitting back and waiting. So at 12:38, I text her. She didn't answer my text. I don't believe, so let me go look at that real quick. 12:38, she did not answer that text. So I need to talk to you. She didn't answer. So I called her. That was the next thing on the timeline. I called her. She answered, and she was a little hot and said she was on Heidi's panel. And I quickly said out of my mouth, I'm just trying to tell you I got an email. It's about your daughter. Da, 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 da. I got it out as fast as I could. And I told her that I emailed them your email address. And that's exactly what I did. Because here at 12:39, I emailed them. Amber's email address is the amberchannel@yahoo.com. Please let her know. Immediately. Then, what she did was email me or text me back. And, well, I text her back in between. I said, what the hell is going on? I went into Heidi's and I was completely lost. She was on Heidi's, crying about Flava, crying about losing Flava as a friend, etc., etc. Y'all knew what was going on. And then when she told Heidi about the email, I got a little upset over that because I thought to myself, why would you tell her? We don't even know where that email came from or anything. And first of all, why are you on a panel talking at all when I tell you that this email was sent about your daughter? The first thing I would have been doing was trying to find out if that was true. Okay. And she said at 12:45, can you send me the pic proof? Or the whatever. At 12:46, I forwarded her the email. Can you tell her to send the pic proof or send me the email? So 12:45. And at 12:46, I sent the email. It's exactly what happened. At 12:47, I text you, sent you the email. This shit is crazy ass. I don't get why Heidi is involved, but I think I do. Do I think, as you've been trying to put out, that it was Heidi and Flava and whoever else talking behind the scenes? No, I don't. But do I think you and Heidi? Yes, I do. You're lifelong friends. Then I said, thank you for the heads up. I didn't know you were on panel. And of course, nothing I have to say means a damn thing, because I think I would have been asking her what was the point when Flava, for the second time, had told us, get the hell out of here. I'm not interested in you two. You know, why would you be up on a panel saying how much you miss Flava when you know in the back of your mind, I've already said I would never go back into her chat. I'd listen to her streams, I'd cover the material, but I wasn't interested anymore. So right here it tells me that you had already made up your mind. You had to do what you had to do to try to get that relationship back. And it was never about valuing me at all. And that hurt deeply. Deeply. But at 1:45, you said, yes, it does. Say it. By then, I was just listening. I was just listening and just blown away. And these screenshots are all on my community post. So it's showing you here that she was up on panel, or she dropped at 1:13:20. That was to answer my call. Okay. We had a call here at 12:39. And that's when I told her real fast that I had the email. She had snapped at me and I said, da, 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 da. I mean, this is important. But then she went right back up on panel. After I told her this email was sent to me, I didn't know who sent the email. I do not know who sent the email. I know I did not create an email to do this kind of, even the email and what it said in the email, this is crazy to me. And if you're trying to paint a picture out there that you've sent me that picture and you're going to try to tag it on me even a little bit more, Amber, I'm going to get back on here and I'm going to call you a liar, because you are a liar. That I know. But she got back up on panel and said an email was sent to Texas Girl about her daughter being in Flava's Discord. And this continued on panel where she was trying to talk to Flava. Flava wasn't having it. Flava was truly not interested. That's what I get from the first stream of Heidi's, when she was up on panel and she'd drop off panel and then she was still in chat. Amber was still in chat. Oh, I can't believe this. Here you've got an email that came in about your daughter being in someone's Discord, a picture of your daughter, your daughter off your daughter's Facebook page and things like that. And you're not up there trying to figure that out. You're more worried about Flava being up on the stream saying that picture is not in my Discord, and nor do I believe it ever was. Flava, I will say that. I do not believe that ever happened. That ever happened in your Discord. But Heidi was really wanting you two to talk. She really wanted you two to talk. And Heidi also said how much she enjoyed Flava and et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, just saying. She really wanted to see your relationship come back together, and Flava was not having it. Flava was done. Right? And that shocked you even more. And then that conversation kept going. And, Flava still, was adamant about she didn't want anything to do with it. She just wasn't going to have anybody saying that kind of stuff was going in her Discord. Tobo jumped up on the stream. I mean, this went on for a little bit. And they all got into this discussion of what do you think the problem is? And then, somewhere along the line, it was mentioned by Heidi. What do you think the problem is with Texas Girl? What has she done, blah, 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 on the platform to make everybody not like her so much? And Tobo says she really hasn't done anything except stream with Amber, I think she said, or be with Amber or whatever. I don't even know if she said that particularly, but that's the only other thing that I can think that a lot of people would target me for, I guess. I don't know. But Heidi says, do you think it's because she's the weakest link? I'm sitting there thinking and looking at this stream while it's going on, and I'm thinking, what the hell do I even have to do with anything? First of all, there is a child's picture supposedly in someone's Discord, and why aren't we trying to find out more about that? Everyone knows on this platform what sets me off by now. So, by all means, continue to call me a hag, to make fun of me because I'm 60 plus years old. I'm not 70, Amber. You know exactly how old I am. I am 65. There are a lot of people on this platform that are in my age group that y'all tell us that we need to find something better to do. Well, you know what? I'm thinking that some of you need to find something better to do too. And you don't have the right to tell anyone where or what they should do in their lives. Because I'm not thinking that having an opinion on a platform or going into the DC like we have, and we all love the DC because it's reality TV at its finest. So having an opinion and going into chat, saying all the stuff we have, playing, going here, going there, whatever we do on the platform is really all that bad. This real life stuff is bad. This real life stuff is horrible. But having an opinion on a platform, and just because I'm over the age of 40 to do it, buckle up, buttercups. You're right behind me. Age shaming people is not any different than shaming someone for their looks, appearances, everything else. I mean, what is the point if you're confident in yourself, you don't need to do that to people. Just saying. So when I heard weak, y'all seen the text on Amber's stream. She's done about what, 5 or 6 now on me, but she showed you all the way out of control behavior I had. I'm not gonna sit there and deny it. I did. I was so mad because, first of all, I hate being called weak. One thing I am not is weak. One thing I do, though, is think before I speak. Well, I didn't that day, though, did I? But being weak, nobody likes to be called weak. I didn't understand why my name was brought up. So I went up on the panel, I took the link and went up there and sat, and there was quite a long little conversation in there where I just finally got mad and I left. I was out of control because, first of all, I got caught off guard with this email that was sent to me. I did everything I could to be a good friend to make sure that she knew about it. I got treated like a second-class citizen over there, like it wasn't important. And then she's worried about this friendship with Flava that she knew if she ever went back to a friendship with Flava, I was done. And so I didn't matter at all, did I? That's when the anger set in. I felt like a fool. And I was being made a fool of. Texas girl's the weakest link. No, I'm not. But if you think I am, Heidi, for you to sit back and tell me I am shows me that your insecurity is shining through. You might want to check that. Check it. So then I put up my community post. My community post page that really sent them railing off. And let me find it. Let me see. Add to stage. It was the one here. Was it this one? Oh, here it is. I got to do the read more. I'm sorry. Today I received an email. I sent it to Amber that Amber's daughter's picture was in Flava's Discord. I do not believe that. Stated that earlier, and I do not believe that. And immediately notified Amber, not knowing she was on Heidi's panel. Amber snapped at me as if I should have been aware she was on Heidi's panel talking about Flava. I had no idea. Flava went on panel basically then to say she was not interested in speaking with Amber. Tobo and Flava then were on panel with Heidi, and the question was asked by Heidi, why does everyone come after Texas Girl? Tobo said, because I'm with Amber and that they probably see me as weak. Because I'm on panel with Amber and I don't dox. That's basically what I think. Y'all, because I don't go real life and do things that y'all all do makes me weak. No. Makes me different. I'll take that any day than become someone who doxes, and I mean that. I would never do that to anyone on this platform. I asked for a link. I went on panel. It was never acknowledged. I left. I am not weak. What I am is who I want to be. This platform, nor all the fuck shit that they all do defines me. I was duped by people I thought were a friend of me. How stupid am I? But lesson learned and received. That's what I said. Get my screen back straight. So when I said that, then Heidi immediately pulled up another live stream to go up, telling me to take the link. And by all that is in me today, I wish I would have not done that. But I did. I went up on panel. I said a few things. Then Flava came up. It went south pretty quick because, again, Flava and I have never been friends. Never. And we've got one thing or another to say to each other in the heat of a moment. I know because I did, and she did as well. Okay? So there were other conversations late that night that weren't good. Text messages between us. And then y'all have heard the phone call I don't know how many times. Not proud of that either. There's so much that I'm not proud of about my behavior that day. What I wish I would have done is just, when I saw what was going on Heidi's panel, is immediately, like I said earlier, delete the email, cut the ties, and block Amber. What I should have done right then, but I didn't. And Amber and I talk how many times a day, and usually every time that something like that was going on, she'd text me and say, I'm going on Heidi's panel, to even let me know where she was, to go in to support her or whatever. And that's the way we work things, but didn't even know she was on Heidi's panel. This is tough, but I'll get through it. I'm going to go over this today and speak a little bit more about it, but then I'm not going to speak about it again. So if you do another live stream, this is my truth. I'm standing on this right here till the day I die. I'm standing on this. Okay? So understand, I've never been anything like an alt, even in chats, Bo's Keeper, which was you, Amber, which I was wondering who Bo's Keeper was and was scared to even highlight the comments and stuff. And then it became a joke that you were Bo's Keeper. I don't do stuff like that. And like I said, you're very smart about what you do. Very methodical about being a troll and using trolls to do the dirty things you do behind the scenes, I guess. But I'm not that person. I'm not. And I am guilty for lying about you being Bo's Keeper. Actually, it just never came public, or I would have had to have told the truth, because you were Bo's Keeper the day you were trying to, and you did contact the animal shelter over Bombshell's dogs. So there's that. But I've learned now, like alts and trolls, and I have been trolled on so many of the very few community posts I have put up on how horrible my behavior is, but nobody said anything about Amber's. Nobody said anything about Amber's behavior in her 8 community posts yesterday and what she's done to me and my family. Nobody said that. It's about me being out of control. I know how the game piling works on YouTube, and I know there's a whole lot of people out there that don't like me. That's fine. That's not why I do YouTube. I do YouTube because I enjoy it. And if you don't like what I have to say, then it's simple. I don't know why you subscribe to me. Right now, maybe it's to watch the train wreck, but you're not going to see another train wreck over here. Okay? Keep watching that direction. I trusted Amber. I did. And I know my side of YouTube is real boring. I know it is. Because I don't do some of the stuff that everybody else does. And I know by far am I perfect. I've never said I'm perfect. And I'm tired of, because I say I don't dox or go real life, that y'all all sit and tell me, yeah, you think you're perfect. No, it means that I don't dox or go real life. I don't do shady crap on YouTube. I don't. I stream and I have a little bit of fun streaming. That's it. I listen, I talk in chats and give my opinion. You don't like my opinion? I know. Okay, got it. I don't like a lot of opinions I see. Okay? No. So what? But let me point out again, Amber and Flava were friends back when Flava was in JJJ's. Then Amber showed the text messages between her, Flava, and Jenny Jin Jin to Bombshell, and that's when things went awry. But then they started doing communication again. I mean, so it's never been about Flava, ever. Never. Or jealousy of Flava. Why would I be jealous of Flava? She's got a great channel. She's got great support. Hey, all I've said is it never happened for us that way. Myself and who I used to stream with. When we got kicked to the curb by Jenny, we were actually suffering from that because a lot of subs left us because of our opinions about Jenny. Flava didn't suffer those losses. She's already got her audience. She does very well for her channel, but jealousy? I've never done well enough on this platform to make money to earn a living on this platform. I'm lucky if I get enough to pay for my StreamYard. And I want to speak about that for a real quick second because I want to intervene here and speak about the super chats. How dare you, Amber, make that be what it wasn't? What that was the last stream we had on it was my day to stream on my channel, and she announced it was her son's birthday, and people sent him super chats and said happy birthday to her son. She said her son's name even, I think. I'm not going to. But she said her son's name. It was his birthday, blah, 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 blah. They sent super chats. The minute we got off the phone, I figured up how much those super chats were, even though I had not gotten paid for them yet. And I gave her the money for that for her son. That's the way that works, because it was the right thing to do. The day that she's referring to, and I guess I didn't know it bothered you that much, Amber. You sure didn't have a problem for me handing you those super chats I did for your son's birthday, did you? But I saw the super chats, and 2 of them came through on Amber's channel one day. It was right after that. Thank y'all for a good stream today. They super chatted. She never mentioned a word about the super chats. Later on that evening, I did, because that's just who I am. A lot of what people don't like about me, I just say what I think. And I asked her, am I going to get half those super chats that were directed at you and I for that stream today? And she acted, oh yeah, sure. Why didn't you mention it then? That's what I'm thinking. I'm not the one that's ever rage quit the platform because I wasn't making super chats or enough money on my channel. Just saying. I want to throw that in there, and I'm sorry, but that needed to be thrown in there. I've had a Proton email since 2023, since August of 2023. And if y'all have never listened to Lightning Viper, who is Angelo, speak about Proton or safety on the internet, and I've spoke about it many, many times myself, that the safest form of communication, I feel, email-wise, is Proton. Because there are no ads, trackers, or anything like that on your email like you have with Google. I actually listened when Angelo spoke, but obviously some people missed the lesson that he was trying to give us all. Proton is it's a safe way to communicate on the internet. And you want to sit there and act like, oh my God, she had all of these emails. Okay, so when I started my channel, I had texasgirlfree.usa@gmail.com. And then when I created a Rumble channel, I wanted to keep my Rumble free from my other channels, so I created the Texas Girl channel at gmail.com. When I decided to get the Proton email, I got the Proton Texas Girl channel at proton.me. I very seldom get communication from people who don't know me except by what is on my channel that has been there for over a year. But thank you for being so observant. It's been Texas Girl channel at proton.me for over a year. And for all the people that are obviously a little bit more ignorant, because I was listening to your stream, Amber, and everybody was like, look, it says sent from Proton Mail for iOS. You bunch of dummies. I'm sorry, but you're going to sit there and try to pull even that out of the universe, Amber, and try to say I was doing something shady. You know what you can do? You can put Proton on all your Apple devices. I own 3. Phone, iPad, and MacBook Pro. iPhone operating system, iOS. Okay? I've never. And you were manipulating the email address to act like that email address was coming from different people. I didn't watch that too closely, but I saw a second email address up there. So in my mind, this is what I think. That email was written, that email was written, and it was BCC to another email address, and you were manipulating back and forth between the others. That's all I can explain how that would happen, because I know about geeky things because I'm a geek too. The only person that could do that, though, is the person that wrote the email. And it was not me, again. If you truly, in your mindset, have listened to all of this and say, I bet Texas Girl wrote that email, then there's nothing I can do for you any further. Really. If you choose not to say anything about it, one way or the other, I understand that. Because people who have been commenting on my post are now being singled out. You know, their comments are being shown on live streams. I mean, this is what we do, right? This is not what I do. So I understand if you choose not to speak out. If you agree with me, I don't really need to know that either. You wanted to say, why wasn't the email sent to Amber? It was on her channel. Well, my question was there, hiding, because I heard you say that, is why wouldn't they send it to the weakest link, Texas Girl? Because she bit right on into it, didn't she? Oh, gullible Texas Girl. Wouldn't happen again, I promise you that. But boy, send it to Texas Girl, because she's going to forward it to Amber. She's going to make sure everybody deflects, pays attention to Amber got this email, because it wasn't working for you. It wasn't Amber. All that whining and begging on that stream wasn't working. Flava was not interested. I will not leave this platform. I don't know what that means yet. But I will not leave this platform. I'll leave when I want to leave. One thing you need to do, Amber, is I'm going to tell you for the last time. I can't make you take down what you've already done. But you keep going. You keep going. Not towards me. I'm not scared of you. I don't care what you do to me. You've already done it all. But you go after my family some more. Like you did. Not I did. You did. I showed your text messages. I didn't show your text messages. I showed a timeline, again, to prove my timeline, how it went down, because you're out there trying to frame me as writing an email that I never wrote. And I believe you wrote it, Amber. You better back off my family. You better not put their names on a community post or any form, because I'm not so sure how I'm going to handle that at that point. I mean, look at what all has happened by now, and I haven't done anything. You've made how many posts about my family, mentioning their names? You've made a fool of yourself on this platform more than once. I made a fool of mine the other night. Fool of myself the other night. You've made a fool of for yourself on this platform more than once, Amber. But don't think I'm going to sit back and just lay down and run and hide. You called me a coward. You called me all kinds of names. This was never a friendship. You used me to get what you wanted. And that was to come back to YouTube and have anybody pay attention or trust you at all. And sitting up next to old Texas Girl They bought hook, line, and sinker that story, didn't they, of how Amber's changed? Because Texas Girl won't allow me to do that kind of stuff. I know she won't put up with it, and I want to be a better person. It's bullshit. It was all bullshit, because who you are right now is exactly who you've always been. Always. And I'm a firm believer on that now. Susan, again, you were never my friend. And there was a whole lot of wasted time spent, because actually you were a better friend to me than even Amber was, like a closer friend, I think. Not a better, I should have said that. A closer friend. I valued you because we had shared so much between us about each other's lives. Again, I'm never going to do to you what you did to me. Not you, Susan. In closing, I want to say there was no benefit for me to ever send that email. It wouldn't have benefited me in any way to do something like that. I would never do something like that. I haven't done anything like that. Who has? That's what I ask you to think about. And what benefit would I get? If Flava received that and gave Amber forgiveness, then I wouldn't be doing Texas Talks anymore, which I thoroughly enjoyed doing. How would that email benefit me in any way? But the way things went, it sure did benefit you, though, did it, Amber? You wrote that email. I thank you all for listening to me. I hope you're doing well. And I'll see you again soon. Very soon.
The more you love yourself, the less trash you let through your door. The less fake smiles you'll entertain, the less games you'll ever play. They call it selfish, I call it survival. They call it cold, I call it boundaries. They call it rude, I call it respect for myself. Self-love is the filter, and nonsense don't make it past. If peace costs me people, and people were too cheap to keep, I'll stand alone, fierce and unshaken, with silence louder than their noise. I won't beg for company, I won't chase after chaos. I don't need to prove my worth to people who already showed me theirs, and it was empty. They hate when you walk away because control slips through their fingers. They hate when you don't react because their poison don't stick. They hate your peace because it's something they'll never hold. Self-love is the filter, and nonsense don't make it pass. If peace costs me people, and people were too cheap to keep, I'll stand alone, fierce smile and say exactly. Because loving yourself was the revolution they never saw coming, and the freedom they'll never touch.